Hello there YouTube, Elita Legionarii here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a build. I said in the last that last replay battle I did for Swedishlandsnekt, I'm going to bring you a battle where I build an army that is designed to counter the build and show you how to get around those Swiss halberd, Swiss guard, and a good way to destroy them. So I'm playing as Denmark here, as you can see. Up front I have 4 units of sword and staff militia. This is merely just a fixing force, a stalling force, meat shield, anything like that. They're not really going to be doing much in this fight. In fact, they're going to die quickly, which is fine. 2 Norse archers. Then on each flank I have 2 units of Viking raiders with a couple upgrades. They're pretty effective, light infantry, but with armor-piercing axe, very cost effective and dangerous. Then I have a Chivalric Knight, a Huscarl, and a Norse War Cleric on this flank, and I got my General's Bodyguard, Huscarl, and Norse War Cleric on this flank. Just going to pause because it's pretty short, so I don't want to miss things. And then I got 5 units dismounted Chivalric Knights, which will be my 4 units of dismounted Chivalric Knights and 1 unit of dismounted Feudal Knights. These will be my killers. So Swede's build I think is the same as before in the last video. He says 4 Puppies crossbowmen, and then I think it's 4 Swiss Guard, 3 or 4 Swiss Guard, and same with halberd militia. And then he's got his dismounted men at arms, and then he's got this time he's got the 2 broken lances, General's Bodyguard, and 2 men at arms cav, and then he's got the light cav as well. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is you just don't want to play into the fronts and strengths of these Swiss Guard. You want, which is a static defensive battle from the front. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is I want to use my sword and staff militia and my bows archers here to occupy his centre, and I'm going to do all the work on the flanks. So I'm going to send my Chivalric Knights here to charge at his men at arms and broken lances and various bits and pieces. So here's a good charge. Now, you may have noticed in that last fight, of course, that I was surprised by how well the Sars Guard did. Now, it was truly just a chance thing because my guys will be able to defeat them. Because for this to take advantage of this build is to take advantage of the Papal Cav, because it's not great. And he can't really just ignore my sword and staff militia here, so I'm going to essentially just keep them there. And as you see, my infantry is just going to go around the flanks. He's going to get hung up on my archers. I'm just going to let him do it. My archers are there just to absorb stuff, take charges, whatever. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, I'm using my cav to wrap around his flanks here, try and get those surrounds and kills. And I'm getting my putting my Viking raiders into the fight here and bring my infantry onto his flanks, and he's going to go after my sword and staff militia. He's going to rout most of them here, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to keep him occupied there. As you can see, it's very hard for him to organise these Swiss and halberds all into a nice and defensive formation. So if I just keep busying up his flanks, use my general here to, of course, get more of his cav, I'm just trying to destroy the flanks, and I'll send my infantry around the flanks. Now, he does send his lights into here to get a charge. It won't do much damage to my Chivalric Knights, but what it will do is rout my Viking raiders, because they're only a light infantry. So he does knock it down by 18 men, but they're only lights, and again he's going to get kind of distracted by these guys, and it's okay. As you can see, the sword and staff militia get pretty cleaned out, but at this stage he's so busy on the flanks, he's really, I mean, in order to use these guys, he's got to break them up. And as I said in the last video, if you can break them up, you can take advantage of them and try and single them out a lot more. So as you can see, I'm kind of just circling on the flanks and trying to get onto his flanks, and I'm not really interested in the centre of his fight. And what I'm trying to do here is he has to either fight in the flanks and keep his formation like he's doing here, or break it up and then I can take them out piecemeal. So the choice is that way. So this is how you defeat these kind of defensive pike halberd sort of builds. Just kind of go for those flanking areas. As you can see, it's a bit of a grind fight here. But my guys, again, I got Chivalric Knights and Norse War Clerics and things, which have got, well, Norse War Clerics and, you know, the Huscarls got armor piercing weapons. I'm going to win that kind of fight over his infantry that don't have that. As you can see, he's outflanked here. His missile units are not that effective to him here, and of course they're going to rout. Because he needs to turn them around, but his own guys are in the way. My swords are keeping him busy here in the centre, so he can't really just ignore this. He's going to try and break some units off. Now, I want to be trying to avoid getting frontal charges into these Swiss Guard. So probably okay with the halberd militia, but the Swiss Guard I wouldn't recommend doing it with, so you've got to be on the lookout for that. You've got to be watching for it. As you can see, the sword and staff militia regroup, so I can use them again to kind of occupy him, or get into his flank, depending on what's happening. As you can see, he's steadily getting broken apart and losing his cohesion. So the flank work is what you want to work with, because my sword and sword infantry stuff will easily defeat them, even if I'd gone from the front. But if I'd gone from the front, I would have had a harder time of it. So over here I'm able to route one of his Halberd militia on the charge, but I don't want to hang around too long because there's Swiss Guard are there as well. But I actually got that as well. So I didn't get him directly on. He didn't get me directly on the front there, so I was able to get around him. As you can see, I'm just breaking him up. His formation's becoming spread out, and when this happens to this kind of build, it becomes very ineffective because it's kind of one of those builds that needs to stay together, keep its cohesion and stuff. So you try and break that cohesion up with it. So that's how I would recommend you try and get around this build. So as you can see, my cav has done a lot of work disrupting him, and I've gone just straight for his flanks there. So this is why Swedes build pretty defensive. So if you get a map where you can put it in a defensive area and it won't be outflanked, it'd be quite tricky to break through it. Now you could still break through it with with heavy infantry and that sort of thing, but they'd take quite a lot of casualties doing so. And because there's such a large wall there and so many units there, it'd take a long time. And as long as you're decisive with your cav, or if he was decisive with his cav, you'd find yourself in deep trouble. But the disadvantage for Swedes rather is that the Papal cav is not that great. It's okay, it's acceptable, but it's not that great. And the trick is, people often think Denmark is an infantry faction. Now, it's got some great infantry options, but the actual trick lies in Danish cavalry. I know it says it's not, but it's not true. Still has access to Chivalric Knights, which are really good. 8 charge, really good stats, very destructive. And then they've got those Norse War Clerics that have like 19 melee defense and in mace. So they're amazingly good at melee fighting. And then they've got Huskarls that are armor piercing as well, and they can get Feudal Knights as well. They've got some very, very good cav. So, I personally think the Norse War Cleric's the specialty unit that makes Denmark dangerous, not any of its infantry. Infantry's good, but dismounted Chivalric Knights is still the best unit it can use. Infantry unit, which every other faction, well, most other Catholic factions have. So, as I said in the last fight, going for the flanks, trying to disrupt it and make them lose cohesion is the way to defeat that kind of army. As you can see, it worked here. So, as you can see, 707 kills for me, sorry, tongue-tied, 222 captures. He still did pretty well with 568 there, but it was much more decisive than the Russian player's attempt at taking on, because he took him into the front. You want to get around those flanks. And as you can see here, the Norse War Clerics, as I said, 82-46. It's pretty heavy kills for them. Huskarls 43-59, 66 this. The dismounted Chivalric Knights, as you can see, lots of kills. 44, 40, 46, 44, 72, 28. Pretty high kills. Took some losses. Those Swiss Guard are pretty strong. They're still pretty strong. Sword and Staff militia, no kills, but they occupied him all the time. So he had to kind of keep his centre ready for them. The Viking Raiders, look, this one's 74. This one got routed really soon, so it didn't do much. But 74 kills. That's a really good, really cheap, and you can put three armor upgrades on it. It's a very good unit. And the Norse Archers, again, they didn't really matter for much. They still got a few kills though, but they were there to distract that cav of his. I didn't really care, to be honest. And of course, that Chivalric Knight, it's a great cav. Most factions can get it. It's got 8 charge. It's got I think 16 defense and 12, 11 attack. It's just a really good cav. It's a great all-rounder cav. Good charge, good melee. And a lot of the Catholic factions can get it, and it's a great cavalry unit. When you mix them with Norse War Clerics, it actually gives Denmark really good cavalry options, which catches a lot of people off guard because everyone thinks Denmark's all about its infantry. The thing with Denmark is it does have very good infantry, but it's not actually got any really great infantry. It's just got quite a few options of good infantry. Whereas people think Denmark, or a lot of the newer players think Denmark's got some of the best infantry, but it really doesn't. It just has decent infantry, but a very sneaky and effective cav unit that catches a lot of people off guard in those Norse War Clerics. If you're wanting a faction that's got the best infantry, go for Spain, Portugal and Venice. The other factions that have the best infantry unit, particularly Spain and Portugal, but the Venetian heavy infantry is very good as well. So, hope you enjoy this, guys. I know it kind of links into the previous battle there, and just demonstrating how to get around those Swiss Guard and various bits and ways you can do it. So, I'll link the Swedishlandsnekt channel, of course. Be sure to check his stuff out, guys. It is great, and I do a lot of work with him as well, and it's a lot of fun. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon next time.